Welcome to my show. I'm Isha. It's a brand new year and a lot of agendas like normal. I'm here to energize the community and women, the city and the state, and of course the global world. As you all know, I'm always a long-standing advocate for women's empowerment. I'm in continuous persuasion to transform societies and economies in households, in communities, in cities, state, and globally with women's empowerment. As I represent diverse communities and cultures right here in Quincy, Massachusetts, I try to energize women to share and spread the message with me on equal treatment in their household, as well as in their offices, as well as in their communities. And I'm looking this year to start the empowerment of a girl's child. And so it starts from birth, access to education, employment opportunities for all women, women's health, violence against women, child marriage and trafficking, very close to my heart, and opioid abuse. I've always been an advocate for child marriage and trafficking, and we started the opioid abuse right in 2013. And I personally feel all of this is related, and all of this is related to all of our women empowerment. Of course, it's related to our societies, but we women are not only just women working in offices or being at home. We have friends, we have children, and we rear children. So it's very important. We are teachers. We're very important for us to be healthy, to be strong, and to take care of our depression in society. Our mental health is very important for us to stay stable and stay abused from painkillers, or as we call it, opioid, and we tend to abuse this pharmaceutical drugs and etc., etc., etc. There was this one gentleman who I had met recently, and he mentioned that his wife, who is a great mom, has children, she works a wonderful job, she's a great wife, and yet when she went to deliver her third child, she was on Percocet, and then she was addictive, very addictive towards Percocet, and that's how she had got very addicted to opioid, and she understood. Then she went into yoga, she took help, and she's back in society and a wonderful woman. But through her experience, I could see that opioid can reach from a child to a parent or to a teacher to anybody. So of course then when young girls are in trafficking or have been abused in teen violence, they tend to get depressed or they tend to start taking drugs, and that leads again an onward journey towards opioid abuse. So I strongly believe that the mission, like every year, is to empower women, but not empower women just where we are looking for board members or we are looking for leader. I personally want to empower women in our day-to-day lives, right from child to a young professional to a mom or a grandma. And for this, we need to start from domestic violence, because many of the women who are mentally unstable are also prone to domestic violence. And so if we can have access to some kind of education, maybe vocational trainings for the women who want to do something in life, then we probably can get these women out of their homes and into society. And of course, I also believe that every corporate should employ at least a few of the trafficked girls who who wants to come back to society and who wants to live a normal life. I request all our corporates to give the trafficked girls an opportunity for employment. Violence against women and teens has been a long-standing mission for me, and I have continuously worked to see that women from all walks of life with Dove has been instrumental in domestic violence ending, and help reach this message to all of the women to make sure that you are safe, you're secured, and you have help. You can absolutely call the helpline of Dove at all times, 24 hours, and ask for help. Apart from that, if a young girl does not or do not have any access to a phone, she can also reach out by 911 or just call anybody to say she's in trouble. But it's my mission to make sure that human trafficking and violence against women this year in our normal day-to-day lives is being taken action. And child marriage is not only, as I always mentioned, in poor countries, but it's also in the most prosperous countries of the world, including United States. And we have to make sure that in spite of our advocating on child marriage, yet more and more and more women or girls seems to have gotten into the child marriage situation, and that I would say is related to the mismanagement, educational rights, and access to property rights. All this leads to unemployment, to child marriages. And as much as we say that we can get rid of child marriage, it's all related. And I strongly believe that if each one of us do something in society, I'm sure we can somehow get rid of the child marriage. And child marriage is also connected to trafficking, because when a trafficked child has no other option, another formula is to get married, and she's basically serving, and then she is not grown up to have a child of her own, yet she does have a child. And this is a chain of abuse that goes on all over the world, including here in the United States. So I will bring to you all of our women who have been in office this year and who have the same voice, who wants to help. And we will ask each of these women to see in which ways they can help their own constituencies to get rid of child marriage, to get rid of domestic violence, and of course offer employment opportunities to a women who have been trafficked, or women who wants to come back to society and lead a normal life. All the support and education required, as well as the trade that we can somehow support this, so that our society is much healthier and we have a happy society. And opioid abuse, some people do this knowingly, some people get into this unknowingly, yet it does exist. And so we have to educate people. Definitely that's one cause. Secondly, we have to figure out a way to make people strong enough to say the word no. And maybe we can find out other ways, whether be it yoga, assimilation in society with some kind of cultural get-togethers, or knowing people, understanding the culture. As we always mentioned earlier in our shows, if you remember, that when women come from maybe even another state here in Massachusetts, or they are traveling with their husbands for employment to different states, they lose friends, they lose a touch with society. It does not have to be only people immigrating from other countries. It can also be interstate when they travel. So they become lonely, they know nobody, and they have nothing to share, no happiness or sadness or concern. So those are the moments when a person or a woman is prone to depression. And of course, those are the moments when mental health is a big concern. And right then and there, when maybe they're not paying attention, they take a fall. And when they fall, they break a bone. Or some kind of migraine, which I hear a lot in society. They go for stronger medicine, and each medicine that they climb up to achieve their goals of finding relief leads to the addiction, and then it's too late and they can't get back. So either then they go for the hard drugs, and that ruins them. And of course we know that what overdose is doing to our population, to our children, to our families, and so they give up life. But I personally think life is not worth giving up. Life is a challenge. It is to be fought. I have always been here to help the society, and I am so lucky that society and cultures have appreciated and accepted me. And I have always been an advocate for different cultures, trying to understand what could be the reason. Why isn't there a smile on the face of a certain culture? What's going on? And I've also tried to explain mainstream to understand the different cultures, to understand the different women, to understand what's going on when they leave their families and travel far away. They cannot celebrate their festivals or their cultures, or they live without their families. They are alone in a different part of the world. So we do need support from the society on both sides. One, to reach out, the other, to assimilate. This is the only way we can bring stability to all women, because their health is very important. Mental health is so important, because mental health, if you are well mentally, then physically you have the willpower to continue to learn new things, to be creative, to be courageous and ready for a challenge. But when mental health, and when you're not happy, you feel depressed in a lonely land, depressed, you cannot speak to anybody, and that's starting of the downfall. So it's my job is to educate each and every one of you to spread this word, spread the message that we need to empower all women right here in Quincy, Massachusetts, as well as in United States and globally. Because women's health means family health. And I'm not saying that I do not support men and boys. I do. But they've always been supported. Women do need help. They are traveling with their husbands. They are coming from different countries. Nothing to know, no culture, no assimilation. Everything is new. So they need to be supported, helped. And then I'm very concerned of the young girls of our mainstream communities who don't take life seriously, thinking there is a depression, or they may be having teen violence, or of course then you have boyfriends that leave you early and you feel that everything is lost, and then you fall prey to drugs, and then drugs lead to trafficking, and all of that is related. So to my young friends right here in United States and Quincy, Massachusetts, be courageous. There's a lot to life. There's a lot of challenges, but you will succeed, because it's very important to succeed. It's very easy to give in to drugs or trafficking or going the wrong way. And then, of course, finally, for me, it's very important that all of our women have employment opportunity. It does not matter from where they come, what they do, if they are trafficked, or if they want to be back in society. It's my request to each and every person, each and every leader, each and every CEO of every corporate to please employ a certain quantity of women from these walks of life and prove them that life is worth living, and prove that they can also make it, not just one or two, all of them together. So this year is going to be quite challenging for me as well as for you, because all of these years, the last 3 years that I have been producing shows, I've always produced shows on all of these factors, yet we have not had a solution. Every year we bring out the agenda. So this year my challenge is to see if we can have about 5 women be employed who have come out of domestic violence, who are single mothers and have survived the violence. I request 5 of them to be employed by the corporates right here in Massachusetts. And if 5 trafficked girls that I can save so that they can be also employed in the corporate circle, that would be my goal for this year. And of course, empowerment of women. I would love to speak to women all over the globe and showing them the courage. Sharing this message is very important to me, and I will continue to do so. I hope you will join me, and we will make sure that all of us together make 2018 a wonderful year for women's empowerment. And it's a new step towards a new life. As we all know that this is the 2nd month of the year and Valentine's Day is round the corner. So all of you, I wish you a very happy Valentine's Day. And my kind and generous viewers, it's a quick reminder once again to you all, as I do every year, do not abuse love. Love is not control. Love is the key ingredient to a creative life. Respect and love life. Love a person truly, but do not abuse a person for love. Love is not give and take. Love is an expression from the heart. These are the few things that I request each and every person to understand, so that Valentine's Day is not just a day of roses and gifts and candies, but it's also a day of respect, regard for life and love. So I hope you enjoyed my show, and I hope you will share the message with me this whole year. As I again mentioned, that for me, violence against women, child marriage and trafficking, opioid abuse, and women's health, employment opportunity for all women from all walks of life, and access to education, vocational education, as well as community college education for each and every individual who wish to pursue their goals in their lives. Thank you very much, and I hope you will join me again next week. And this is Isha. Happy Valentine's Day, all of you. Thank you.